Hello, this is The Way of Fairness. My name is Stephen Childs. So, we have people trying to dominate and rule the world, and we always have had. And they fight wars, and they do a lot of harm. And it's like Donald Trump said, you have to dominate. Wherever you go, you have to dominate. Well, he's not dominating now, and he's not going to be dominating because he broke the law, he offended people, he did people wrong, and now the law of the land is dominating Donald Trump. And we had a civil war already where there were people that were wanting to dominate the black slaves, and they wanted to leave the United States, form their own nation, so that they'd be free to have slaves if they want. And they wanted to dominate their turf. Well, we stayed united, and they caused more deaths than any other war ever. They killed more Americans than any other war we've ever had. And it's their fault. They are the ones that were in the wrong. Because it's wrong to want to slave another human being. They lost. So the fair-minded people that were on the side of fairness won. And you can look all throughout history, the same thing happens everywhere you go. The people that are unfair end up losing after they have done tremendous harm to others in their attempt to dominate the world. And they have that same attitude around me wherever I go. They're trying to dominate me. They harass. They gang stalk. There are some laws. I just reviewed the laws on harassment. And there's laws against gang stalking. Stalking. It's this type of stalking. So I'm being harassed by people. So I can tell those people, you're breaking the law. What you're doing is not legal. Look up the law and read them the law on harassment. They might even be disturbing the peace. They want to have the right to do us wrong. That's what they want. They want to have the right to do us wrong. They wanted to have the right to keep black people slaves. They wanted to have the right to do black people wrong. And the Bible God, he's like, kill all those people, take all their stuff, rape their women, kill their babies, and dominate. Because Moses' sock puppet, it's like a sock puppet. He had an imaginary God that was a god of war, that they got all their controlling people in their tribe, the gang stalkers in the day. They harassed and they intimidated the other Jewish people into surrender, and the Jewish people couldn't fight against them because they got all the power. And they got the scriptures written down, if you go against us, we'll stone you to death. You might notice my new picture, my new logo picture, it's me holding a rock out. There's a long story to the rock karma. There's lots of rock karma in my life. I might tell you about some of it later. It's powerful. People get hit by rocks while they're driving. They'll fall off the mountain. It's just really bizarre. Kind of like lightning. Lightning's coming to my mind again. So we have these people that they think it's a good idea to dominate the others and get their own way. and they don't want to be fair. They don't care about the truth at all. They only care about winning and dominating the people that are telling them, you can't do whatever you want. You can't do us wrong. We won't let you. And they're like, you want to bet? And we're like, bring it on. And we'll see who gets punished the worst. They do. It's karma. It's cause and effect. You can see it everywhere you go. Montezuma got taken over by some people in a boat. Cortez. A few men with horses conquered Montezuma's empire because Montezuma was controlling Mexico City, the Aztecs, and he was sacrificing 20,000 humans a year to keep the people in fear. And they were supposed to be brave and go get sacrificed for the sun god so the moon god didn't win. Montezuma's sock puppets. If you don't do what the sock puppet wants, we'll sacrifice your ass, you know? Oh, just a coincidence that we picked your child to get sacrificed after you did all the complaining. You know what I mean? You know how people are, politics. So I wrote a short document on the YouTube channel, and it's about it's better to be feared than to be loved. Machiavelli, he wrote a book called The Prince, and it was like a down-to-earth. Well, we're talking about humans here, you know, folks. You know how humans are. They're trying to run the whole show, and they don't care if they lie, cheat, or steal to do it. And so we've had a struggle, the humans versus humans. Humans with some common sense, some logic. And the Greeks said, well, there's this thing that we speculate, there's like an order to the cosmos, the logos. And it's the same root word as logic. So it's like the logic, the reason of reality. So they were touching on like modern day, an ancient unified field theory idea or some kind of quantum connectedness and stuff. You know, it's kind of weird how we intuitively knew things. Like there's some kind of order. Now, you can call that God, but then when you start calling that Yahweh, that's when shit hits the fan. Or you start calling it Allah, shit hits the fan. Because it's not. It's just the all-powerful oneness. I'm an atheist. I don't care if you are, but don't do me wrong with your goddamn religions. You'll get hurt. Happens every time. Here's a strange example. Osiris the Great. He was taken over and conquering the world, but he was freeing slaves. So the Jewish people called him a Messiah. He was freeing slaves and they paying him wages. So they had like a government, a cylinder. The cylinders of Cyrus was written in cuneiform on clay with their little stick, and they copied that. And that each governor would have a cylinder that had the law, the unified law. So it was an improvement. People were starting to have some human rights as for being human. And it had a lot to do with the formation of our democracy that we have here in the USA. And you know who killed him? The Amazon women. He wanted to take over the Caucasus Mountains and their empire to the north. And they were archers on horseback with short recurved bows. And Osiris's men had no knowledge of this. So they were shooting Osiris's warriors from horseback on the go. And they were excellent archers. and there were women fighting with them, and there was like the don't let the Amazon women get you; they'll castrate you. You know, they put fear in the heart of men, the Amazon women. So they beheaded Osiris. And it's like, I'm thinking, well, what the heck? Because Osiris was such a good guy. Well, maybe he was a chauvinist. You know what I mean? Maybe he didn't care about women's rights at all. So he was not being fair. This is speculation. For some reason, he didn't win. They beheaded him. So, the way of fairness is all we're fighting for. Is fairness for everybody. For the people trying to dominate, we want fairness for them too. They don't want fairness. They want more than fairness. They want the lion's share. They don't want fairness. They want to be unfair and get away with it. Well, statistically, historically, they never win. The people that are fair-minded, that have some logic and some reason and care about each other, we always win. And it's going to happen again and again and again, and we're going to destroy the whole planet. See, we can't continue with this stupid dominate the world mentality. They're stupid, and they don't know it. It's absolutely asinine to try to dominate the world. It's idiocy. They don't have any wisdom. They don't have any logic. For some reason, they can't stop projecting and blaming onto someone else. Well, humans are evil. So we need to unite and show an overwhelming power to get them to stop. An alliance worldwide where all the people join the way of fairness, and we demand the World Fairness Agreement to happen now before we have another war. Where do you think the next big war is going to be? I'm betting it's going to be in the USA. Have a great day.